This is a train, and what does one who works for the railways do when going on holidays? Well, in fairness, this is the first time I've had a holiday on a train, and what will it be like? The train is called the Great Southern, and it travels from Adelaide to Brisbane once a week during the months of December, January and February. It does the same thing from Brisbane to Adelaide, but with an extra night on board. Although I originally booked a gold single cabin, we were upgraded to platinum, which came complete with complimentary Bollinger champagne at 9 a.m. The Great Southern leaves from Adelaide Parklands Terminal at 9 a.m. on Friday mornings and heads off up through the Adelaide Hills. The journey uses the federal government-owned ARTC, Australian Rail Track Corporation line, used by freight trains that runs towards Victoria. It also runs parallel to the Adelaide Metro Belair line. At Belair, we passed one of the freight trains coming into Adelaide, which would have been coming from the eastern states, waiting on a passing loop for us to get by. No, this is not a still photo. This is us standing still while we wait for another train to go past us. This is a single line through from Adelaide to the eastern states, and there are various passing loops. Delays like this on a train like this are pretty irrelevant as long as the bar's open and you're enjoying the view. Once we get through the Adelaide Hills, we end up on the familiar South Australian flat landscape, which is pretty much the same all the way until we get to Victoria. The train crosses the Murray River at Murray Bridge on the Murray Bridge. Once we cross the river, we get a bit better view of Murray Bridge town as the train veers towards the right and heads off east. This is Border Town, located in the state's South Australia's east, near the state border with Victoria. It's where the Duke's Highway and the railway line cross the Tatiara Creek between Adelaide and Melbourne. Our first stop is at Stawell, and this is where the train crosses one of the town's roads and annoys the locals. In the afternoon we head off on one of our tours, which was called The View for Miles. The bus takes us to Halls Gap and onto the Borraka Lookout, where we have a view for miles. From here we can also see Lake Belfield, where the bus continues on to after this stop. The train actually clogs the track and also sits across that level crossing that we annoyed everybody on before. So while we're on our tour, it has to nick off somewhere and hide on a siding so it's out the way. When we get back, we have to wait a little while and the train again comes to pick us all back up. The train travels through the night, and in the morning we end up travelling towards Yass, where we will again stop to get off for our tour of Canberra. The train runs down the main street of Yass. We stop here and then get off and onto a bus for about a 60k trip into Canberra. There's a choice of different trips you can do when you get to Canberra. We chose to do the tour of Old Parliament House. I tried on a wig while I was there, but it really wasn't me. We had a buffet dinner at Old Parliament House. It definitely wasn't up to the standard of dining on the train, but not too bad, as long as you don't mind a glass of red wine being poured in your lap. After lunch, it was a quick trip across Lake Burley Griffin and on to the Australian War Memorial. It's a good 50 years, I think, since I've been to the War Memorial, so it's fair to say that it has had numerous upgrades during that time, all very interesting for somebody like me, and if you're interested in that type of thing. And while we were there, it was actually going through another bit of a refurb. On the way back to our train, we took a detour to Mount Ainslie, which gives some iconic views of Canberra, as well as being able to be attacked by some rather large insects. Trip from Canberra to Goulburn takes about an hour and passes Lake George. Nothing says Australia like a tasteless giant animal or piece of fruit, and Goulburn certainly doesn't disappoint, or perhaps it does, depending on your point of view. As per the day before, the train is required to get off the main line and hide away on a spare line or passing loop. It then comes and picks us back up again at Goulburn Station. This is the obligatory photo of a piece of food. In this case, it was swordfish. All really nice. All the food on board was excellent, really restaurant quality. The trip is very interesting as we pass through South Australia, Victoria, New South Wales and Queensland, all very different landscapes from flat and dry to lush and tropical, and all great to sit back and watch through the window with a glass of Bollinger. Just before we get to Coffs Harbour, we stop again and we are taken off and taken to the Urunga Boardwalk tour. We rejoin the train back at Coffs Harbour station for the last leg of our journey. And another opportunity to annoy the locals. The trip's not inexpensive. I was fortunate to be given a generous 60th birthday present in the form of a voucher from my lovely friends. As I said, we'd booked gold class, but were upgraded to platinum on arrival. Gold's excellent. I have no problem travelling that way. Platinum is another level though, with dedicated dining room, excellent complimentary drinks package. Would I recommend the trip? Yes, if you wanted a relaxing holiday with no driving, good food, good service and really great scenery.